Hello, Florence and Felix. Long time no see, you guys. It is awesome to see both of you. Thanks so much for sending me your bits of video so that I can have the opportunity to put them together here and explain to you a little bit about what I do with the straightness training. So this video clip shows Felix, a lovely 23-year-old horse who's had a lovely life and lovely training. Nice, smooth walk he has. He looks like he's sound and he's happy and he's comfortable, and the both of you are relaxed. This here, just a brief freeze frame to highlight, when we're walking them around, their natural way of walking on a circle. Just kind of relaxed, but not following the shape of the circle as he goes. Another freeze frame here just to show his nice natural relaxed position. So he does have a swinging walk. His head is stretched forward and down, and the underneath muscles of his neck are relaxed. But we're going to be looking to change this and to keep the underneath of the neck relaxed, but to get his top line and his core engaged more and to get his center of mass shifted backwards. This clip just to show, as all horses have, their natural asymmetry. His hind end falls in a little bit to the left. This is also the kind of thing that we look at and that we work on through the straightness training. Now, our first exercises that we begin with are something called the standstill exercises. We start teaching the LFS, which is lateral bending of the horse's body, forward down of the head and neck, and stepping under at the walk. So we start with just straightforward pressure and release. Give the horse a slight amount of pressure on the nose. We want him to lower and adjust his head and the stelling whenever we ask him to. So we start by practicing that just at the halt. My guy here was 5 years old. He's young, he's spooky. I ask for very little, reward a lot. A little pet. I also use positive reinforcement and cookies, which he's very fond of. Hand on the clip right near the cavison. Now I'm going to ask him to back up also. So I'm going to use an inner picture and an inner feeling, use my energy bubble and my intention. Hand on the clip to ask him to lower his head, and with the energy from my body, ask him to step back. And as soon as he does, very quick release so that he connect the pressure with what I just asked him to do. And his nice ears to the side show that he understood and he's happy with it. So at the beginning, at this standstill exercises here, we're asking him to shift his center of mass back. We're asking him to lower his head and neck, but we're just doing very little pieces. Whether you want to use positive reinforcement or not is up to you. This is your laboratory and your horse to figure out what works for you best. Lucky loves cookies. So he's very motivated by that. So I did a lot of that, especially in the beginning. But the most important thing being to release the pressure quick. If you've done any pressure release training, you know that you almost can't do it fast enough. This is from the same day. Later on, he's starting to get the idea. So once you think your horse is starting to get some pieces, start to put them together a bit. I ask him to lower his head. I'm asking him for stelling to the left and the right. And then I'm going to ask him to back up. He understands the game. He's pretty happy to do it. He's waiting for his reward, and this is the kind of mental state you want to be striving for. So as you're adding behaviors and communication tools, you want to always keep building the relationship. Felix is an older guy. Maybe that means you're just going to ask for short things and then take him outside to hand graze. Whatever works for the two of you. So here are some more details on moving the center of mass back. Now we do use the backup, but the point of the backup is not to take backward steps, but to shift the center of mass back. So here he's relaxed. He lowers his head and neck. He's got his under neck muscles relaxed, but he's very much hanging over his shoulders. All his weight is leaning forward. He's looking forward. He's falling into his chest, basically. His legs are not near the blue vertical line. They're at the red line pointing backwards. This is the posture we're going to be trying to get to in the beginning. So front legs at the vertical. The horse will start to engage muscles where the green arrow is pointing at the base of his neck to get his top line in the game, and his head more towards the vertical, not with the nose poking out, but with the ears pointing up towards the sky. So the what you're going to be aiming for here is vertical front legs, ears towards the sky, and nose towards the ground. All the weight still in the purple circle here. So in the beginning, you're not really going to be getting the back end engaged. You're not going to be really thinking of shifting weight onto his back legs, but just getting the center of mass back, period. So it's okay that he's still got a lot of weight in the shoulders here and that his hind legs are still just kind of hanging out. Maybe with all of Felix's training, he will get his hind end in there. This just a quick note on the relationship and the horsemanship part. Here, Lucky had been kind of concerned about something going on behind him. So I asked him to bring his head down, move it to the right and the left. Then I give him a cookie, take the rope off of him, throw him some more snacks in the feed bucket. Now he gets to go do his favorite thing, which is to overreact to something, spook and startle. So long story short, we want to train the horse and we want to develop the exercises, but keep in mind, is the horse happy? Does he understand? Is he bored? Is he not responding because he's spooking? And frame the exercises, shape them within your environment, and do whatever else you need to do to make the horse happy. That could mean keeping the sessions really short, or it could mean stopping altogether and giving him a snack. Now, when you go from the standstill exercises to starting to move forward at the walk, you're going to be controlling direction of the horse's head with your hand. So here, Lucky is, I bring his head to the right, I can take my hand off, and he holds his head there. So he's really starting to get an understanding of what the idea of the game is. He's nice and relaxed. He's nice and happy. I can put my hand on. He hasn't moved from when I took my hand off. Can go over to the other side, ask for stelling to the left. And then we can get ready. I take a little, I don't think I was asking for a step there. He might have anticipated that. But then we get ready to go off to a walk. And I start by having an inner picture and inner feeling. I'm going to think, okay, Lucky, we are going to walk now. I am going to use the whip to cue his hind end, and then he and I are going to very much walk off together. So not so much he gets chased, not so much he gets pulled, but I take a step, he takes a step, and we go together, just like you and your friend crossing the street together. I'm going to use the whip to cue his hind legs, initiate the bending of his body by cueing his hind leg to step on under. You can use the butt of the whip to control his shoulders or his rib cage a bit if you need to push him off of you, and use your leading hand to monitor his nose. Is the stelling available if you wanted it? Could you move his neck this way or that way, up or down, just a little bit, if you wanted it to? So you're not actively guiding him so much. Here I release my hand a little bit, so you're not actively pulling, but you're just on and off checking. You take a little feel. Could I adjust his head if I wanted to? But primarily, we really want him to be following our intention. Here's another example. I'm going to go and try to walk off on a left circle. This one isn't going to go so well. I didn't really realize, as you can see at the beginning, he's really focused on something over on the right. And what I noticed is that he's leaning in on his left shoulder. That left leg kind of determinedly sticks out against me. I try to keep trying to bring his nose over towards me, get his shoulder over to the opposite side to get him to shift some weight off of that left front leg and get him to shape himself, tracking to the left. Alarm in my phone, sorry. And then we go off, but I don't really succeed. And we basically go off and go in the opposite direction first. As soon as I let my hand go, he goes that way. So then I pick him up and we carry on. No big deal, but that's the kind of thing that you're gonna use the video camera to pick up on and to help you with. You can only see so much, especially in the beginning when you're really close to the horse and you're really close and tight. So the video camera is very, very useful for you to be able to see the little details of what is going on as you try to put the lateral bending forward down and stepping under together. So I strongly recommend as much use of the video as you can. I use the Pivo pretty much every time that I work the horses. And it is extremely helpful, especially when you're not quite sure why things didn't go the way you wanted them to, or you will see also why things went the way that you wanted them to. So I hope that makes sense. I tried to introduce to you the LFS, which is the lateral bending, the forward down, and the stepping under. We start out by getting the lateral bend and the forward down at the halt in the standstill exercises. Then we move them into walking off. You're going to use the whip to cue his inside hind leg to step under, and that creates the bend in the back part of his body. And with your hand, you ask for the stelling up at his head. And work on those exercises to start. I'm more than happy to get together with you on Zoom so I can explain more if I haven't been clear, or we can just get together on Zoom to catch up too. So let me know if this has made sense. If you've got any questions, get in touch. And if I haven't heard back from you in a week, I will reach out and see how things are going. It is so good to hear from you, and thanks for helping me out again. I really appreciate it.